Hey students, Mark Ferrier here, and this is a video for discussion 3A, comparing in fun ways. So what you want to note here, since this is the beginning of module 3, is you'll do want to go first and look at the comparative analysis essay instructions, which are the instructions for the module 3 essay. So the essay you're writing, module 3 and 4, is going to be a comparative analysis essay. All right, so let me just click on this real quick and kind of go over it. So when you click on comparative analysis essay, it will bring you to the instructions for this essay. Now, there's going to be a video here, so watch the video for the comparative analysis essay to get a walkthrough of that essay. But for discussion 3A, what we're doing is you need to have an understanding here. What you really kind of want to keep track of and have an eye on is that you're going to compare a public service announcement and then a second thing. We're calling them artifacts here. A second thing, essentially. Artifact is just a fancy word for thing. What that second thing is going to be up to you. You'll see there's links here for second artifact options. So if we click on that, you can compare a PSA to an online museum. Messages, you should compare them to messages on the online museum, messages in the campaigns. There's links here to different University of Arizona's Biosphere 2, the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum, and so on. Again, this video, we'll go ahead and watch the video for the comparative analysis essay, and that'll give you a better idea. But just note, you are comparing two things for this comparative analysis essay, a PSA and a second thing. All right? So once you've chosen those things, what you'll want to start doing is thinking about comparing and what that means. Here's some resources for comparative analysis writing. So if you click on this link, that will bring you to some things that you can look at here, right? What is a public service announcement? Oh, sorry, that was the wrong link. I'll update that one there though for you. But comparative analysis writing link, sorry. That link will give you some tips for how to write comparatively. So some things that you want to focus on here are this. What you want to focus on is looking through these briefly and then pick one of these to respond to. So the one that you want to respond to is going to be up to you, but you're going to pick one of these with an understanding that you have to write a comparative analysis essay with a PSA compared to something else of your choosing. So with that in mind, what you're going to do is just sort of get the gears turning here a little bit and start thinking of something to help you with your comparison approach. So the first option here, all or nothing, name two things twice. Think about some similarities and differences that are obvious and some are not. So for this exercise, what happened there? Oh, sorry about that. I'm not in teacher view here. So for this exercise, for the all or nothing, you're going to want to consider, find something in your PSA, and then consider how there's something in there that is very clearly similar to something else. Then find something in your PSA to compare to something else that is not clearly similar. All right, and this is something where someone wouldn't necessarily view this as similar. So you can compare this to anything. Whatever your PSA talks about, compare it to something similar, and then compare it to something that someone else might not necessarily think is similar, but you find similar. Again, just getting us used to talking about similarities. Analogies, right? Take an element from the PSA here, if you choose this one, and compare and contrast it. That's the assignment here. Differences within. So here, what you want to do is identify something that is so often two topics, a little bit of preface here. Two topics have a similarity, but then within that similarity, there are differences. So what you want to think about here is identifying what is that similarity in your PSA that has something that contains some dichotomy or something else, right? A subtopic or sub-issue where there's a lot of differences in there. This will be entirely up to you how you frame this. You have a lot of leeway here. So you want to think about, for example, you could have two stories about love, but love could be portrayed in different ways. So what you want to do is find one or two similarities in your PSA and then identify differences within those similarities, okay? That's one example here. So you can choose which one of these three that you do. Once you've done that, go ahead to step 2. Make sure you send a reply to your classmates. And if you have questions about this discussion 3A assignment or anything else, let me know.